There's a reason we're all up here, and there's also a reason why Henry's not, but we don't know that answer yet. But we're going to let Deb take over.
Okay, so we've been doing this for 21 years, and Trish, what is it, 3 or 4 years now?
Third year.
Yeah, her 3rd year she's involved, and this is such an arduous task that I can't even really explain how much work this is. But every now and then, there's someone who comes along and helps consistently to come in, and when things are difficult, they know how to smooth things over, and they know how to make everybody feel really warm and welcome, and make us laugh. And isn't that something we really need so much today? I don't know, Trish, do you want to say a few words? But do you want to say a few words about this person before I get into it? You know who we're talking about? Why's she up here? Okay, well, I'm sorry.
All right, this is a guy who I got to meet here, and who I was lucky enough to take some classes with. And he's just as a special person, a special actor, and a special host. He's just a special friend to life, and I'm so happy that he's in my life.
So basically, while he's been helping us for what, I don't know, 10 years, 12 years, about 5, 6 years ago, he said, I am now your host forever. He said, I am not a co-host, I am not a presenter, I am your host forever. And he's much bigger than us, so we said, okay. But he is a great guy, and we want to offer the Friend of the Foundation Award.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait, okay, well, sorry, Henry's here. You want to say something?
Are you with Fred?
I was trying to find him. I'm running around trying to find him. Well, we all know who this is right now. So, Debbie.
Okay. Well, anyway, it's our honor to present the Friend of the Foundation Award to a man we love very deeply, kbrown.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Oh, my goodness. How are you, everybody? Let's get it started. Let's get it started. So first of all, thank you. Thank you. This is an honor. I have to say this. Anybody that knows me or watched my career, I'm not the type of guy that covets the spotlight, which is kind of opposite to the career that we've chosen when you become an actor. So people have tried to honor me before for certain things that I did, and I'm the type of person that, nah, I'm good. I'll turn it down, I won't show up. Be like, nah, give it to somebody else that really deserves it. And funny thing happened, and it's amazing that the festival is called Life, because the funny thing happened in my life recently, right? So and this is actually a story that I've been wanting to tell since it happened. It's like been heavy on my heart, heavy on my chest, and I had no place to share it. But as you hear me tell the story, you'll get the idea. So on March 2nd, Friday, March 2nd, I remember it like it was yesterday, about 4 in the afternoon, I get a call from my baby sister, and she says, "Kev, we were rear-ended." So me joking with my baby sister, I said something stupid. I said, "You were rear-ended? I don't need to know about your sex life." And she says, "No," and she had that tremble in her voice. Now I hear the tremble in her voice. "No, we were just rear-ended on the highway." So now I'm like, what happened? Where are you? She knew she was on a highway not too far from her house. And in the car was my whole family. So somehow my baby sister, me and my siblings were real tight. Somehow I was the first call she got. They got rear-ended by a drunk driver. And I was the first person she thought to call. She needs to tell her big brother. So she called me before the ambulance arrived, before the fire department arrived, before everybody arrived. So I said, "Well, where are you?" And she said, "Well, I'll call you when we know what hospital the ambulance is taking us to." And in the background, I heard my mother screaming. And When I heard my mother, I said, "Is that Mom? No, I'm not gonna wait. Tell me where you are." So she asked my brother, read the sign on the highway. She told me where they were. I know where that is. I grab my keys, I jump in my car, I drive to the scene. And when I get there, you know, the fire department had the highway blocked off, and the traffic wasn't moving, so I'm driving on the shoulder, and somehow God got me to the scene. I jump out my car, run by the fire department, and as I get to the scene, I see about 12 firemen passing a gurney to the other side of the highway. And I yell out, "Who is that? Who is that? Who's in that gurney?" And they say, "That's LaShawn, that's my sister." So I yell to my sister, "LaShawn, I made it!" And she said, "Kev," the same tremble in her voice, and she puts her hand up, and I reach, and we touch fingertips. And I said, "I made it, sis." And she said, "I'm so glad you made it. It's about damn time." And I just laughed, because she was letting me know she was okay, but she wasn't okay. So I turn around and I see my brother. My brother was driving the car. My brother's a strong guy, big guy like me, strong guy, martial arts master. But he has a neck brace on. They put a neck brace on him, but he's wobbly. So I knew he was, you know, shook. So I turned to my brother. I say, "Dre, I made it." First thing he says to me, this is my older brother, about 4 years older than me. He turned to me and he said, "Kev, they took Mom to Lincoln Hospital. Go find Mom." That was his orders. That was the only conversation. And I say, "Okay, I got it." I go to run to my car to go find my mother, but I realized the fire department had the highway blocked off, so I can't go anywhere. So I said, I got to make myself useful. I pull out my phone and I start taking pictures of the damage for the insurance purposes. Finally, when they clear up the accident and I can go through, I get to the hospital. And I'm in the hospital in the emergency room with my entire family on gurneys with neck braces. Now what had happened before that was in February, my father, who's 89 years old, he's in a nursing home, has dementia. He fell in the nursing home, broke his neck. Didn't die. And because he has dementia, he don't even know his neck is broken, which is a blessing. And my family was visiting him. They got on the highway, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, got rear-ended by a drunk driver. Now, my father's in the nursing home with the neck brace. Now my sister's in the emergency room with a neck brace. My mother's in the nursing home with a neck brace. My brother's in the nursing home with a neck brace. Everybody with my last name in the hospital with a neck brace. And this was around the same time I was teaching that class that Trish took. And Trish, if you remember, I don't know where you are in the room. Okay, you remember in the class, I would say to my students, because a lot of acting students always give excuses. "Oh, I would have practiced the thing, but my kids did this, or I had to do that." And I would always say what? Nobody cares. When people are making their movie, their creativity, they want you to be healthy and want you to be happy and want you to be whole, but they want you to do good work. Do great work. Do your best work. So I was teaching this acting class, and we might have been at week 2, week 3. But I finished the class, and I didn't tell any of the acting class what I was going through in my real life. Because those students paid for this class. And my problem, I couldn't allow my problem to be their problem. Nobody cares. I'm going to give them their money's worth is the point. But I'm going to tell you, this was a real rough time. This is like 4.5 months ago. So we fast forward to, now I'm in April. Before my family got into the accident, I had booked a show in Lincoln, Nebraska, of all places. Fans of 30 Rock out there. They were opening a new comedy club. They booked me to be their first headliner in the beginning of April. Now because my family was all hospitalized, I wasn't able to go hit the comedy clubs and whatever. I wasn't in the mood to be funny. I was just angry, hurt, scared, because I'm thinking I'm going to lose my whole family. So when it was time to go do the show, as it got closer, I realized I'm going to be gone for a week in Lincoln, Nebraska, and it kept sounding stupider and stupider to me. How can I leave my family for a week, go to Lincoln, Nebraska, do comedy, and my whole family's hospitalized? What's wrong with me? So I tried to back out of the show. So I tell them I want to cancel the week before the show. "Oh, Kevin, you know, we got a lot of fans. You got a lot of fans out here, and we can't cancel. We put a lot of money into marketing and whatever." Then I realized it's not their fault that this drunk driver hit my family. I got to be a pro and go do these 5 sold-out shows in Lincoln, Nebraska. So I go out to Lincoln, Nebraska, end up doing the shows, just trying to suck it up, right? Just suck it up. And it was my duty as a professional not to let this club and not to let those fans suffer because of what I was going through in my personal life. But those were the hardest shows I ever had to do in my life. Because I had to go out and make those people laugh, even though I was going through so much anger and so much pain and so much fear inside of me. Now mind you, that was the only time I resurfaced, went out. But basically for the last 4 months, I've been visiting hospitals 7 days a week leading up to this. And this is the first time that I've come out after that, and I came out willingly. You know why? Because they're healing. They're healing. They're getting better. They're getting better. And my mother said something to me the other day. That was probably, what month is this, July? Probably in June. There were 25 days in June, but every time the phone rang, I thought it was going to be that call telling me my mother had passed away. And anybody that's gone through something like this, because a lot of people have, but anyone that's gone through something like this, you know what that call is like, that fear. It's like I was living with that fear every day for the last 4.5 months, but that 25 days was the scariest. So my mother wasn't eating. She wouldn't eat hospital food. I would have to go out and bring her food from the spicy foods from the restaurants around the neighborhoods, fried chicken, stuff she wouldn't normally eat, fried food and fried fish and greasy bacon and whatever. She started getting her taste buds back. My mother told me this 3 days ago. She said, Kevin, you know, I didn't want to tell you this, but for a long time, I didn't know who y'all were. She told me this 3 days ago. I said, what you mean, Ma? You didn't know who we were? She said, when your sister came to the hospital and she kept calling me Mom, I didn't know who she was. But I figured we were close because she called me Mom. And I said, when did this happen? Well, I'm trying to figure out when did she not recognize us for the 4 months. But she told me this 3 days ago and she's hesitated to tell me. And like I said, I'm normally the guy that doesn't need acknowledgement. I just go do my good work and I keep moving to the next job. But I realized 4 months ago, after this accident, and something that we all realize when we watch some of the great artists that are here tonight, some of the new artists, our careers aren't simply our own. We do this work, and if you are blessed enough for people to appreciate your work, that's the best honor of all. One of the guys said it up here, I don't remember who, but he said, it's not about the result. When you do your film, don't worry about the result. Enjoy the process. I came to accept this award so I can take something home to my mom. So I can show my mother. So I can show my mother, Mom, look what I did. And I know what she's going to say. She's going to say, it's about damn time. But I say all that to say, you know, they say, anybody in all the comedians in the house know this, but they say you're not a real comic until you go through something in your life. And I'll be honest with you, when I did those 5 shows, those 5 sold-out shows in Lincoln, Nebraska, those were probably the best shows that I ever did in my whole career. Probably got standing ovations every show. But I was saying the jokes and I felt they were coming from a different place. And I was in Fred Carpenter's movie Dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's the movie I grew my beard for. I grew my beard. I worked on growing my beard for 1 year because when I read the script, y'all sent me the script very early, and when I read the script, I felt like the character needed a beard. And I worked on growing that beard. I didn't shave for 1 year. And the movie kept getting pushed back. So by the time we shot, it was a year of growth. A year of growth. I never combed it. All I did was shampoo it every day. But I didn't have the largest role in the film. But that was really, Deb, that was really the greatest role I've ever done in my movie career. It was so rewarding. Doing that character represented everything to me. It was so refreshing, and it just gave new meaning to there are no Small roles, only small actors, because I'm really proud. I didn't even see the movie, but I'm proud of that, of what I tried to give to Fred and to the project. Now, all that being said, so I'm here today. My family is healing. I didn't tell you all this, but along with my father having a broken neck, my mother had 8 broken ribs and 2 breaks in her back. My sister had a broken back, broken pelvis, broken hip. And because of the way insurance is in our country, everybody had different insurance, so I couldn't put them all in one hospital. Because this place only accepts Medicaid, and this one accepts Medicare, and this one accepts Part A, and that one accepts Part B. So I can't go to one place and put them in one room or 2 rooms next to each other. I got to go to 4 different hospitals for the last, and nursing homes and rehab facilities for the last 4.5 months, just to visit my immediate family, the family I grew up with. So it hasn't been easy these last 4 months, but that's the type of stuff that tests your character, and your art is built off of. Your art, it gives you a point a point of passion, a point of emotion to draw from, and you use that as an actor for all you young actors out there. But this is the first time I'm telling this story publicly. While I was in a dark place, an angry place, I didn't want to be in public. If this festival was being held 2 months ago, I probably would have said, I can't do it this year, Dad, because I'm just not in the right space. But I'm healed now, I'm feeling better. My mother's eating, she's standing. She's walking hard. It's hard to walk. She got to learn how to do all those things again. My father still don't know what's going on. I saw my father the other day, and my father was like, you know what? You've always been a really nice young lady. He don't know what's happening in the world. So he don't even know the neck is broken, but he's healing now too. Everybody's healing. They're old and they're healing, and my family's coming back together, and I feel like I want to hit the stage again and perform again and come back out again and share my new views on life and art and whatever. So this festival means a lot to me. The name of it, Life. 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 Life is so important. The things you were saying about how you feel right now about life. I was sitting there and I'm like, amen, don't take life for granted. It's not the destination, it's about the journey. Enjoy the journey, y'all. And thank you so much. I'm sorry I took so much of your time. I had to tell that story. And I really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate you guys. Now let me see. What's next on this one? Yeah, thank you. All right. So we did that part. We're coming close to the end. How you guys doing right now? You all right? Oh, I do something now. Kevin presents Best Short Film. That's me. And now the nominees for Best Short Film are